Question. So, who's ready for a mixed bag of chat on this wonderful Sunday afternoon? Back in a minute. This channel's name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. And I love, love, love helping people to keep some more of their own hard earned money. How's everybody doing on this Sunday afternoon? Got a few interesting updates to share with you today. First of all, number one, I love the fact that this is the beginning of a brand new week. There's something about brand new, clean slate. It's sort of like, like when you get a notebook and your notebook is brand new and you open it up to that page, that clean slate page. I love brand new notebooks. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's reminiscent of, I don't know, being young again or something like that, or just the clean slate idea. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So a couple of things we'd like to mention. Number one, an update on that senior citizen that we mentioned last week. She has become monetized. I believe her name is Lindy. Sweet 75-year young senior that lives in a van, and she recently became monetized, and she mentioned it in a short. If you didn't see the short, I did include that recently in my community tab. There you go. Another update to mention is that I am so very looking forward to, and so is Steve Young from the Steve Young 74 channel. We are going to meet with JB from the JB Breaks Free channel. And if you've not seen his stuff, I'm going to include that in the description box below. We're super excited because we're going to have a recording session on Monday, meaning tomorrow, the very next day that you're watching this. I'm recording this couple days in advance so that to make sure that you have it. And JB Breaks Free, everything hopefully will go well and everybody will be there and no technical snafu. See, that's one problem in life that we always have to be aware of. Technical snafus, okay? Because we could all be there in attendance, but if someone's internet fails, for example, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know. So it is my hope that we will meet tomorrow. It is my hope the show gets recorded and the tentative air date, so mark your calendar on this, is going to be on Thursday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. But no worries. Of course, I will send a reminder notice on the community tab. So lots of stuff to look forward to. There are a couple of things that I would just like to go over. This past week, I discussed about my instant coffee use. I thought I was using up my instant coffee faster than I was in real life. No. And this is why I strongly suggest that you head on over to a back video from a few days back about, well, how many cups, how long did it last, my instant coffee? That's not the exact name of the video, but maybe I should link that one up too in the description as well. Why would I want to do that? Why would I share that idea? I mean, like, do people really care how much does Jan from New York City get out of a container of instant coffee? It's not so much for that. It's for the idea of monitoring our stockpile inventory, because sometimes it is totally possible that sometimes we may be like well overstocking in one area. And because we did that, we might be deficient in stocking up in other areas. Now, recently, JB from the JB Breaks Free channel, and he loves to help people get improvement in their life and just be a better version of their own self. He had mentioned his interest in stockpiling, and he figured out a way that his family, he now knows precisely how his family is going to be using water to be saved. I believe that's for about a 2-week count for a family of 4. Now, I took his methodology of his calculation and I said, you know what? This is interesting. How much would a family of 1 need? How much would a family of 2 need? So this is interesting. According to my math, and I could be wrong because I make no bones about it. Math was never my absolutely best subject in the world, but it is a vital subject. I mean, all right, fundamental math I was always interested in, like adding, subtracting, division, multiplication. But then when I got into my older years of math, trigonometry, things of that nature, not for me. Because in my mind's eye, I kept saying, what do I need this stuff for? That's how I felt. Honestly, that's how I felt. But let's get back to the basics with the math. So in his case, he figured out how much his family's going to need for the stockpile. And I said to myself, for a person that's just beginning or thinking about, doing a stockpiling or taking it more seriously, as he mentions, JB, you did really good, because what you did was you took an approximation, and this is for everyone, this is applicable for. You took an approximation of the reality of what your family's going to need. You see, this is the difference. This is where a lot of people get tripped up when it comes to stockpiling. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a family of one and you're watching videos that are perfect for families of two. Families of, let's say, 3, 4. I say 2 and 1 are kind of sort of in the same range. You work together on that. But when it's like a family of 4, or you see these exorbitant, beautiful, you almost look like you're walking into a grocery store. I have friends that literally their entire room, like even in their condominium or their regular apartment, like their entire rooms are filled with shelving. You literally feel like you are walking into a mini type of grocery store. And it is cute. I love the beauty metrics of it, but it is applicable for their family. Their family may be a family of 4 or a family of 5. Sometimes when I see a family of 1 with an entire room like that, I don't know. Is that the best way to part with your money? But I'm just an observer, okay? And I don't know. I don't really know. But all I know is what works for myself. Overstocking in one area might cause you to be understocked in another area. It's like putting out money you don't have to put out. That's why it's pretty important, if not a fun, interesting, as they say, challenge, to know really what your inventory needs are. Okay. For example, this sounds really like cheesy, but for example, I figured out the amount of bathroom tissue people can use. Like usually, typically a family of 1 or 2, depending on the ply, depending on the quality of the brand that they're using. Because some of those like cheap brands from like dollar stores, it looks like, oh, you're getting so much bathroom tissue. Oh, sure, it looks beautiful, beauty metrics. But then in reality, it's like nothing on the roll. It's like a nothing roll. It's just a waste of money, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Everything here is my opinion. Okay. So just saying. And also from experience. And that's what formulated the opinion. But I have figured out that 2 of those good quality bathroom rolls work for a family of 1, an average family of 1, 2. Okay. So a person could do the math. They could figure out, well, if there are 52 weeks in the year times 2, that's easy math. They'll only need about 104 bathroom tissue rolls of the same roll, of the same quality, et cetera, et cetera. If it's a good quality bathroom tissue. Okay. So that's all they need. Only need 104. A person can buy a case of it. And I don't know how they subdivide it. It all depends. So that person might feel better to make that purchase of that paper product, if they're getting a good deal, especially get it for the year. Okay. That Happy Belly instant coffee, I did the math on it. I need to purchase way less than I thought. So this was a good revelation because then I could reallocate whatever's left over and put it towards some other stuff. So, it's interesting weekly events that come up. I want to give you another update on this mixed bag chat this Sunday afternoon. Guess what? Literally, I did the math and literally, remember the laundry thing last week? Guess what? Literally, now I have definitely saved about $50. Why am I giving you this weekly tally? Because it only cost me $81.99 for that washer. I got it at a good price, brand new. Brand new. Where I got gazonked was on the shipping. See, that I was hoping for free shipping, but it wasn't free shipping. It actually was delivered exactly on the day that they specified, which is great. So kudos for all of that. That was a wonderful thing. So, but even still, guess what? With the taxes and the shipping, I am already almost halfway to have made up the difference. Literally, that machine has paid for itself. The other day, I was voice messaging with Steve Young 74, and I said, "Hold on, Steve, I'm putting my clothes in the washer." Okay, boom, threw the clothes in the washer. Came back, continued to discuss, future show plans, blah blah blah. Message clipping, okay, back and forth. Within an hour's time. Now, this is a little machine. So I'm not talking about your regular standard machine. So for anyone contemplating getting one of these little compact machines, I did a full-size sheet. I did 2 pillowcases. I trying to remember this now. 1 pair of pants and 2 shirts. What I did was I split it up into times. And by doing the 2 sessions, because you can control how long you want that washer to go. Unlike a standard machine, you don't have that like 3 to 5 minute option to let the washer run. These things were barely dirty at all. So for me, it was like piece of cake. So I entered it into my machine for the minimum amount of time, and it did the job just fine. But I do want to warn everybody, and I'm very careful about this. Do not put your regular amount of soap in there. You'll be rinsing until kingdom come. Literally. No, this is the case where you get to save so much more money because you could work it with a cool water and you don't need to use hot water. In fact, it's not recommended to go over, I believe it's not recommended to go over 48 degrees Fahrenheit in the hot water thing. One more trick to add before I forget. I also do this. I bucket the water in because the hose they send does not fit my sink. It's just so much easier to just bucket it and just throw it in for me. So I bucket it in, and I know when to how much to fill it up to. By bucketing it in, it's so saving of everything. I allow my garments to sit in the sudsy water without agitation yet. The machine is not on yet. It is plugged in. So I let it pre-soak. I just let it soak for about 15 to 20 minutes before I officially turn on the washer. Just these little hints and tricks. Oh, and also update that floating lint trap. It works. Like the first time around, I says, "Well, I don't see much here." The second time around, yes. In my case, some people say it doesn't work. In my case, it works. I think the person that might have used it and put a negative about those floating things on a video, whatever the reason, everybody has their reason. Maybe they didn't have enough lint to come out or whatever. But in my opinion, it has worked. So anyone else that uses that floating lint trap, and by the way, that goes in the water section, not in your dryer, not in your spinner, in the water. That's why it's a floating lint trap. So if you don't have a lint trap, those are great. They're very inexpensive. I got like 4 for like $10 on Amazon. So it's well worth it. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time. As always, I do have something that I would love for you to do, and I hope you do it. In addition, let's stay motivated like this lady does. I love to play this clip to remind us all to keep saving. Before I forget, for those who are brand new, welcome so much to the channel. I truly appreciate every single one of you. And do know that I have an audio show, as you can see below, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern. I do come on camera here. Hello, hello, on Sundays. I like to appear on camera at least once to 2 times a week, but definitely at least once a week. Have an amazing, fantastic remainder of your weekend. Happy brand new week. Bye bye.